first lesson we all have to learn from the incident that occurred on the 14th of October 2021 in Buea is for everyone to avoid any argument, any quarreling, any fighting with the military, with the police, or with the Yandans. That is the first lesson we have to learn. And we have three reasons. TFA analysis have three reasons why you should avoid any forms of quarreling or fighting with these people. The first reason is these people are always with their guns. And just imagine when you are angry with somebody, especially to a point where you wish to fight or you want to fight with that person, you always think of any weapons that you can use. And the only weapons that these people believe in and hold on to is their guns. And if they remove it, they will shoot you. And when they shoot you with a gun, you are going to die. So we should avoid these people by all possible means. That is the first reason why you should avoid them. Because in anger, they can do anything at any time and regret after. But regretting, you have gone. Even if jungle justice will take place, where the person will be killed, like it happens as it happens in Buea on the 14th, that your life will not come back. You have gone and you will not return back. So we are calling on each and every Cameroonian to avoid the military, the police, and the Yandans, to avoid their problems, their trouble by all possible means. We know it is very difficult. At times they are forcing us a lot of things from us, especially money and other material things. But we should let go all those things. We should just consider that we have been harassed or we have been faced with armed robbers. Armed robbers attack us. And then you just give out what you are having to them in order to avoid problems. That is the first lesson we are telling you, because fighting, quarreling with them will lead you into serious trouble. That is the first thing we are calling upon you, that these people are always with their guns. And many things can happen. We see them many times shooting and shooting at civilians, doing terrible things with guns. And then the second reason we are calling upon you to avoid their trouble is because of the kind of country where we are, Cameroonian. We know Cameroon is governed by a corrupt government. And if we all know this, we know that whatsoever trouble you have with police, Yandans, military, you would never win, because they are covered by a corrupt set of leadership. So you have to struggle by all possible means to avoid problems with it, because if you go to court with them, the only punishment they will give them is transferring them from where that incident occurred to another place. They will continue living their lives, enjoying their lives, and continue in that kind of system with that kind of attitude. So you avoid their trouble because of the kind of country where we are. Because even in our home country, we discover that many of these people, Yandans police, many of them join this profession out of frustration and through corruption. They enter this profession. And then many of them on the highway are looking at what they have spent in order to join this profession, and then turn into extorting money from civilians in order to balance what they have spent in order to join because of corruption. The kind of country we are is a country that is controlled by a group of people, and they are using the military, they are using the police, they are using the Yandans as their weapons in order to intimidate the population, in order to extort from the population, in order to threaten the population, in order to make us afraid. So there is no way they will not back them up. Whether any incident occurs, they will stand with them in all circumstances, because these people are the one keeping them in power. So you cannot fight with them, you cannot defeat them anywhere. So the only way you can do it is to say that you are a fool. You humble yourself and then go your way and allow trouble, because you can never win any trouble with them. That is the second point, reason why we should avoid any form of quarreling, fighting, argument with this group of people. If we do this, we are going to help ourselves in many ways. We are going to save our lives. We are going to save the lives of many. Because if they remove their guns and fire against the civilians, maybe where there's a lot of crowd, many people will die. So we should avoid. And the third reason why we should avoid their trouble is because of who are the people in the uniforms, as police, as gendarmes, as military. We all know ourselves, and we know the country where we are coming from. We know our trouble, and we know everybody around us. We all will testify that many of these people, before joining this military, police, or gendarmes, have been armed robbers around our neighborhood, have been criminals. And just because maybe they are coming from a wealthy family or from a family that is having somebody up, they just manage them and push them into a profession. And they join it. Joining military does not transform your mentality. So they are still having that terrible mentality. So they're fighting with them, quarreling with them, all these kind of things can happen because they don't know anything like morality. So you shall avoid, because these are still the kind of people. You don't know where they are coming from. Many of them are criminals that just succeeded bribing their ways into the military, into police, and into gendarmes. So you have to avoid them. You also have to avoid this group of people because many of the police, gendarmes, and military are smoking marijuana, banga, cocaine, and many other things in our home country that many of us can testify that we have seen them in many occasions involving in this kind of attitude. And then just imagine you are faced with a police or a gendarme or a military who is just from smoking banga or taking cocaine or taking tramadol. And then you start quarreling with that person. What are you expecting from? So we should struggle by all possible means to. Many of these people are semi-match people in uniforms. And you start fighting with them, you start quarreling with them, saying that you know you are right, you know this one. When you die, your right cannot save you, cannot remove you from the grave, cannot do anything. So it should come to a point where we should at times refuse our right. Say, okay, we will not fight for our right in order to save our lives. We can testify in our home country that we have seen lawyers who are human rights lawyers, like Barrister Abobala, was in prison in Cameroon. And that is a lawyer that is fighting for human rights. But he was in prison for no good reason. So who are you then to stand fight and say you are fighting for your right? There is no human right in Cameroon. So we should know that if you are involved in this thing and say, they know my right, when you die, your right will not defend you. When maybe they would shoot you by the leg, you will become handicapped and you will become crippled. You will be the one that your right will not. When you are in an environment, you have to understand that environment. You have to understand the kind of people who are governing you. And the only thing is to submit, is to humble yourself before them and pretend as if you are a good citizen. You are obeying them just to save yourself. Like it is happening now in the Anglophone regions. Many people have come to a point where they have to just say yes out of their own way, just in order to save themselves, their lives, and the lives of their families. So that is the first lesson we have to give to you. TF8 analysis is given to you first to avoid the military. And we say we have looked through the incident that occurred in Buea, and we have 3 important lessons for you out there. So it's just for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel in order to be the first person to receive our notification for our new videos. And we have said we divided this lesson into 3. This is the first one, the second one will be coming, and the third one. So be the first to follow it up. Thank you very much for taking into consideration this little lesson and advice.